Max is an ex-convict hoping to start a new life and put his criminal past behind him. However, circumstances force him back to crime, and he agrees to participate in the kidnapping of a boy named David, the son of wealthy parents. Max meets his girlfriend Rox, former accomplice Sid, the criminal brains behind the operation, and Vincent, another participant. Together they plan and pick the right moment when David's parents throw a party. The gang captures the boy, stealthily taking him to an abandoned country house where they intend to hold him hostage until they receive a ransom. At first glance, everything goes according to plan, but soon strange things begin to happen. David behaves unusually for his age. Instead of fear and panic, he shows a cold calmness which causes Max anxiety. The boy begins to manipulate his captors. His calm and cold speeches make each of them feel uncomfortable. Soon there are disagreements within the gang. Rox and Vincent begin to argue, feeling David's influence. Despite Max's efforts to keep the situation under control, the boy skillfully adds fuel to the fire by saying something to each of the outlaws that undermines their confidence and makes them doubt each other. David has long conversations with Max, questioning his morals and making him question his motives in life. Max, used to thinking he is in control, begins to feel his mind being pressured by this unusual child. Max soon realizes that the boy is not as simple as he first thought. David begins to show more than just intelligence. He possesses a dark side that scares even those used to dealing with crime and cruelty. One night, Vincent despairs over David's strange behavior and begins to treat him aggressively. However, the boy, instead of being frightened, only increases his influence over him. Vincent is consumed by anger and hatred and begins to lose control. When he tries to use force, David somehow drives him to madness. Vincent, obsessed with fear and doubt, begins to believe that the boy has supernatural powers. Eventually, Vincent commits suicide, unable to withstand the pressure. The situation worsens when Rox also begins to show signs of unbalance. She believes that the boy should be eliminated and suggests that Max get rid of him. Max, who already doubts that they are doing the right thing, now finds himself in a situation where his moral principles begin to conflict with his desire to stay alive. He realizes that David is dangerous, but also realizes that killing a child is a line he doesn't want to cross. Rox, who has always been cold-blooded and pragmatic, begins to act rashly, causing Max to fear for his own life. You can feel the tension and desperation building in their dialogue. Max tries to talk to the boy alone, trying to understand what is going on. However, the more he talks to David, the stronger his feeling becomes that he is losing control of the situation. The boy begins to manipulate his inner fears, pushing him to the brink of insanity. David skillfully uses psychological tricks, making Max doubt the correctness of all his decisions. Max becomes increasingly convinced that the boy is not just an ordinary child, but something more sinister. His inner turmoil becomes heavier when he sees David literally destroying the people around him using only words and his manipulations. Max begins to suspect that some dark force is behind the boy. He begins to think that the kidnapping was not an accident and that the boy himself is the cause of everything that is happening. At one point, Max finds Vincent dead and realizes that they are all under the influence of something supernatural. His fears are confirmed when Rox also goes insane. She soon dies when, in a fit of paranoia, she tries to attack David. Max is left alone with the boy, realizing that he is the only one who has not yet succumbed to his influence. However, the boy continues to press him, asking questions about his past, about why he chose a life of crime, and tries to get him to admit his weaknesses. The final part of the movie revolves around Max deciding what to do with David. He tries to escape, but the boy always ends up one step ahead. Max realizes that he cannot escape his fate and that he must either submit to the boy or find the strength to stand up to him. At the end of the movie, Max finds himself in a desperate situation. David completely takes over his mind and Max realizes that his whole life was just a pretext for this encounter. The movie ends on a somber note as Max, devastated and broken, faces the boy who now clearly demonstrates his supernatural nature. The boy says that all of this was inevitable, and that Max was chosen to fulfill his dark plan. Max, having lost hope of salvation, realizes that his fate is sealed.